Okay. Today is April 1st, 2024. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good rotation of the earth. Welcome to the World Crown. May the peace of the Holy Spirit be with you. The judgment of God is both a welcomed event and a shock because it really happens. In the judgment of God, no one is shocked more than criminally minded people and their organizations. The intervention into the human condition and the judgment of God is a normal, stable, reliable, necessary, and justified event. If this is the very first post of ours that you read, I welcome you. If you have come to learn about the judgment of God, we discuss it at length throughout our network. You can also join us for our liturgy, which is part 3 of our presentation. I welcome you again to the World Crown. I welcome men and women and people of religion, of business and government, and of the military. I also want to welcome doctors, lawyers, psychiatrists, psychologists, educators, and first responders, which include police officers, doctors, firefighters, paramedics, Coast Guards, and air and sea rescue. This month's general address is orally short. That means I will not read all the information. The information, however, is still good. If you want to hear me read it, look to March 1st, Part 1, our first responder address. Our address today will cover the following areas: the Olympic Games in Paris, what is the World Crown, the Middle East crisis, Business and Banking 1.4.1, World Bank 1.4.2, the Crown Corporation 1.5.1, the Internet 1.5.2, JC Angelcraft 1.6.1, Regulation 1.7.1, Donations 1.7.2, Economy 1.8.1, Law Enforcement and Firefighters 1.9.1, Health 1.10.1, Emergency Services, various topics 1.11 through 1.15, WHO, the World Health Organization 1.16.1, Advisory 1.17.1, Education 1.18.1, Solutions 1.19.1, First Responder Faith 1.20.1, Conclusion and Prayer for the Sick 1.21.1. Section 1.21, the Olympic Games. If the Olympic Games go through, the judgment of God will handle security. If news trends continue as they are today, you can expect information terrorists will use the Olympic Games to keep you hostage of their news. You who watch and believe in mass media are already a hostage, and we are working to get you out. The news and information conspiracy, which was given an official starting date of 2011 and 2012, is perhaps the longest hostage crisis in our history. Only the terrorists keep changing because they continue to get judged by God. I pray you keep safe and exhort you to trust in God for the safety of Arabs and Israelis. Section 1.3.1. What is the World Crown? The world crown is a necessary intervention into the world to make public the judgment of God and maintenance the human condition. So don't think it's just my personal soapbox. The judgment of God is a serious event. Royals, senators, congressmen, presidents, popes, priests, imams, entertainers, prime ministers, sheiks, sultans, administrators, doctors, and the world's most powerful men have been judged by God. Someone has to take responsibility for these missing important people and for the judgment of God. That would be the world crown, which is blessed and commissioned by the Holy Spirit to take responsibility for the judgment of God and for administering the world in its wake. Though the judgment of God stirs up imagery in people raised religiously, we assure you that it is not the end of the world. In the judgment of God, you still have to work or look for work. In the judgment of God, you can go to school and get a degree. You can raise a family in the judgment of God. During the judgment of God, women marry and are given in marriage. The great and terrible day of the Lord is a welcome, joyful event for some, and a terrifying event for those in judgment. Since the judgment of God has been made public, thousands of championships have been won and lost in professional and amateur sports. And so we can learn from all this is that God does not have to stop the world or ruin your happiness in order to judge what needs to be judged. Section 1.3.3, the Middle East Crisis. The Middle East Crisis is another coronavirus show, a conspiracy. It requires no support from doctors, and so you can expect it to continue until our justice processes have stopped all terrorist groups and people which make it come to life. Considering who we are, and by the fact that we manage hundreds of emergency services, not one phone call or a visit to first contact offices to agree or disagree with us has succeeded. We continue to enjoy good technical support from local and state governments and from Telmex, Telcel, and AT&T. Information for sections 1.3.2 through 1.19.1 is the same from the previous month and will not be read. Moving down to section 1.20.1, first responder faith. In this judgment of God, all the religions of the world, including Islam, have lost leaders. Beware of propaganda and people who conspire using religious authority. Catholic and religious news and information are in a state of emergency. Emergency religion has been created. I accept responsibility for the judgment of God against all organizational, business, educational, governmental, health, racial, political, and religious conspiracies. Section 1.21.1, conclusion. Prayer for the sick, for all people who are sick or who have loved ones who are sick. I pray to the Holy Spirit to help all of you who are physically and psychologically sick, while also asking for a good blessing on the judgment of God. I pray for your bodies, your minds, and ask for healing and blessing from our Holy Spirit upon you. I pray for God's perfect will to bless the final days of those whose last days are upon them. This concludes the first part of our general address. God bless you and have a great rotation of the earth. We invite you to join us for our calendar address for the month of April 2024.